Hello, everyone. I'm Krasi, and I have the pleasure to have Leaha Mattinson with me. And we'll be talking about the Great Awakening because this is the most contemporary, the most important subject. And Leaha, who is a life coach, who is an awakened person and friend for many years, you are completely in harmony with the awakening process of humanity, and you've been coaching so many people to find out who they truly are, to be in control with their own health and bodies. And you will be mentioning very interesting Eastern techniques. I will not name them because there are many. You wrote a book, and you can tell us so much. You have interesting websites, you have your own channel, you're educating people, you're a public speaker, you're many things, Leaha. So I'm very happy to have you here because you are a very interesting speaker. So Leaha, welcome, and we'll be talking about the Great Awakening. There was two, three words as in the beginning, and then I would just say from my brief astrological perspective what the Great Awakening is, and then you will tell us how to go through this process, how to speed it up maybe, and how to be in control of our own bodies and health and spirits.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Krasi, for inviting me onto your show. I'm very excited to speak with you and your audience about what I think is the most important thing, which is our own Great Awakening. So without further ado, let's get into it, because I think a lot of people are excited about their own consciousness raising and what they can do to create a happy life and a healthy life.
Yes, Leaha, just to say astrologically, the Great Awakening is in harmony with these celestial configurations that we all know about. Of course, this is Saturn, who entered end of January 2020, sidereal Capricorn, but not only. We had the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, which was unique because this time the two planets formed, they looked as if they're one star. So this was very ominous, very awakening, if you want. So even before that, they started with other celestial configurations. So this is a cycle, and it is not such a long cycle, but it is a cycle like a window in the universe that we have to benefit from. So how do you see this from your spiritual perspective and your expertise, because you're expert exactly in this coaching people in these processes?
Yes, thanks for that great question, Krasi. I think that it's one of my own awakenings has been really becoming more attuned with and working with an astrologer. So Krasi and I became acquainted because I went, wow, I've been doing this coaching bit for so long. For over 30 years, I've been a coach. So executive coach, an athletic coach, a trainer. I've had a podcast for, 6 years. And I've got a lot of success in my life, but I've also had things that have been very difficult, challenging aspects. And so in terms of my own awakening, I thought, gee, shouldn't this be easier? So I went, well, it's not been very easy in some aspects. How do I find out more about that? And that's when you and I started having conversations, because the tools that astrology can give you help you to actually see better, maybe what you can expect of the things that you need to work on. But I was also very grateful to go. What I've always encouraged people to do is to be conscious about what they're doing and how do they want to create a better life. And what you and I have talked about is that astrology, the thought used to be that your astrology chart is hardwired. That's your life. That's how you're going to have to live it. That some things are going to be great. Some things are going to be really awful. C'est la vie.
Yes.
But really, this conscious awakening is about going, no, it's all up to you. It's all up to you to create the wealth, the wellness, the happiness that you really want, despite the challenges, or maybe even because of the challenges, that you would instead rise higher and really work on, how do I show more of my divine happy self? And that's where the real work is at.
So it is about us who came with amnesia. We have only our horoscopes, right? We think that we are
Right.
locked within this horoscope, and we cannot do anything
Right.
to change.
You should see mine. No, it's like.
No, this is not true. I've seen yours. It's not that bad. It's even
I know.
The thing is that we are like doomed. We come doomed within our horoscopes, and we come with amnesia. We don't remember anything about ourselves, our souls, our consciousness. So we think we are locked within this, and actually this is not the truth. And the Great Awakening, the cliche already, Great Awakening, is something which is awakening towards remembering who we really are. So yes, exactly, Leah. So tell me about these techniques. What are you advising people? Of course, you have many websites, and I will list them under our conversation. People can visit your websites and what you're doing. But tell us now more about this difficult to pronounce Eastern techniques which you're using, and also tell us how you overcame your own situation with your own with the power of your soul, simply, which everyone has.
Yes, everybody does have. So yeah, you can go to masteryourlife.ca to see any of the offerings that we have there for health and wellness. When I say any, I mean self. I was given the diagnosis about 13 years ago now of an incurable neurological disease called Huntington's disease. We have it in our family. So my dad has it, my grandmother had it, and you can kind of go back in our family tree and see the people who've had that. And with that diagnosis, it's a neurological disease, so you can actually have cognitive decline that's very serious, mental health issues, so everything from bipolar to schizophrenia to dementias, those things. Executive functioning is problem solving, decision making, impulse control, and a movement disorder that looks like you're drunk. So, people with Parkinson's disease will look like they have a little bit of a movement disorder called bradykinesia. Huntington's disease, it does look like you're drunk, or you have this big dancing motions with your hands and stuff. It's quite surprising and shocking. But again, that's called Huntington's disease. So if anyone wants to take a look at that, they're more than welcome to do that. Because I was given that diagnosis and I grew up in this family of people who've got this particular disease, I went, that's not for me. I don't want that. I want to be well. I want to be healthy. I want my children to be well. I want my grandchildren to be healthy. I want there to be a different story for our family. And so I did some very specific things to be healthy and well. One is that I watched what I ate, so that I think the conscious awareness of going, what is it that we've been, has been put into our food system versus what we really want to put into our physical system. And that those are two different things. And then secondly, how do we move our body every day? In Western culture, it's very common to move your body in ways that are harmful. Like you end up in pain with injuries. I was an athletic trainer for many years, and I have some injuries as a result of playing a lot of sports. And then just went, man, like you shouldn't feel like this in your body. There should be ways to feel good. And so then I got introduced as a result of being on my podcast to another fellow, Master Lee Holden, who is a qigong expert. And I learned qigong from him. And this qigong is actually an ancient Chinese medicine, been around 4,000 years. So I learned the medical practice of that qigong. And that's what I do to stay healthy and vibrant and feeling good. And so the Great Awakening for me really was understanding that your spirit and your body are connected. So I think I was, it's like you can be so spiritual that you forget that you're here in this physical body. And and then you don't take care of that vessel. And then you end up in pain, suffering, or you're so in the body. So then you end up in spiritual pain. And so my quest really has been to work each day on how do I balance those things out? How do I have a healthy body and a healthy spirit? And so through those practices of qigong and then going to work every day with a good attitude, we've got a podcast that's been growing, and we've had great people come on and affiliate with us, just like, any business. And so that's been a fun thing. But qigong, the physical practice, is about doing microcosmic orbit, where you move energy through your body in a circular motion. And it's because we're electromagnetic. And just like the earth is electromagnetic, just like the cosmos is electromagnetic. And you learn how to actually move your life force energy through your body in ways that are gentle.
What else does
Yes.
this ancient Chinese medicine involve? Does it also involve herbal or other natural resources? Herbal, because this is very interesting. And all herbs, you know, have a specific planetary or star rulership. So this is very important, interesting for astrologers too.
Yeah, and it's fun. I'm a farm girl too, Krasi. So I grew up in a really small town of 1,200 people on a farm outside of this little town, and we had our own garden, and you know, we grew our own food, and so I had a very clean upbringing. And I think now what we see coming through for so many people that's very disturbing is, again, multi-generational sickness and illness in this physical body. In fact, babies that are coming in now don't even have a chance to be well because the food system is so compromised. So herbal remedies, I think, are, you know, or Mother Nature's remedies. If you can grow your own garden, is some of the best, you know, food that you can have if you can have good seeds and good soil. And then the herbal remedies in Chinese medicine, there's lots of teas that are drank and tinctures that, you know, you can take to be well. I also followed a really strict diet that didn't have much sugar in it for many years.
Tell us about this, because you lost many kilos.
I did. Yeah. I lost 100 pounds about 20 years ago, and have kept it off. So, and when I say I've kept it off, it's not been a battle. It was that's that spiritual change where you go, like, that's the old story, and this is the new me. This is actually who I am. Well, you know, we come here, our spirit is not, I think anyway, that, or believe that we come perfect. Our spirit is perfect. And then we kind of get in here and we're, you know, made a mess of through whatever, the million things, culture, our parents are doing the best that they can, you know, but we learn a lot of bad habits and things that are not good for our spiritual self. And then that's why you put on weight, you know, if you've been abused in any way, or there's generational abuse, those kinds of things. And you can eat, you know, to have comfort. And then the ability to see it for what it is, though, and go, spiritually, I'm unwell and it's showing up in my physical body. How do I actually get those things more in alignment? How do I align them and heal that and become in harmony with what I actually am, which is divine? And a divine being wouldn't feed itself, you know, something that's going to harm itself, because then you realize, oh, I'm divine. I'm this beautiful, sparkly, wonderful energy. And I forgot that. So now how do I actually get back to that? And then all of a sudden, all that bad behavior, because it's behavior, starts to fall away. So eating donuts or eating late at night or cravings go away, because you start to crave things that a God craves, right? You go, I can eat these delicious foods. You become sentient to what you actually, your body wants, versus just eating whatever's in front of you. You go, do I really want this? And then wait for an answer, because the answer will come, and go, yeah, I do want this thing that's in this hand, and I don't want this thing that's in the other hand. And so you become your own best master around what your body needs also. So you're not looking externally for all that crazy labeling, you know, like low fat, no sugar, aspartame, you know, whatever the millions, you know, substitutes for things are. Instead, you come back to home plate and you go, what am I supposed to be eating for this body that I'm in? And don't listen to anybody else, because not everybody has the same wiring as you. And so you become this sensitive person within your body. And so that's what qigong helps you to do, is to become present of your body that you're in, and quiet within your body, and you're always assessing. It's like running on a little assessment all the time about, well, does my back hurt? Does my neck hurt? Like, am I feeling stiff? Am I feeling tired? And then you just are correcting all the time too. So instead of waiting for 8 hours, a really simple example is, instead of waiting all day, you work all day at your desk, you don't get up, and you're just eating things that people are bringing you. And then you get up and you go, oh my God, everything in me, it hurts and I'm so sore and all. Instead of doing that, you come into your body frequently, once an hour, and you check in. You go, well, how's my body feeling? Doesn't feel that good. Maybe I should get up and move around. And then you're moving that life force energy through you, and the chi is moved through quickly. It doesn't take very long, 3 to 7 minutes every couple hours, and you can have very strong life force energy pick up in you, and those self-healing then is kicked in, and you become healthy and vibrant as a result of just these little micro movements. So it's harmonious, it's sensible, it's sane. It doesn't require a gym membership or like.
So you're coaching people, you're teaching them exactly how to follow these harmonious, natural techniques in order to get better. But speaking about this, Leaha, we spoke before and you mentioned it. We spoke that through knowledge, you find out, you understand your horoscope, you understand what are your weaknesses, and you do not take them as if you're doomed, but you take them as an opportunity to change. And then give us example. Somebody's coming to you, or you yourself, you know your horoscope already, because we've been discussing it not only once but many times. You know your horoscope, and then what is the combination of techniques? Because it will be spiritual work, then it will be the physical work, and it will be connection with nature, of course. And here comes the connection with nature, because Capricorn, who is ruling our lives now, Saturn in Capricorn, is all about agriculture and the basics and the land. And you will see how many people are living their city homes and try to start totally different lives in the nature. So this is part of the Great Awakening, and this is why I'm asking you, what is your combination of tools? Like, somebody comes to you, and this person who will find you is in his process or her process of the Great Awakening. Otherwise, they wouldn't reach for you, right? So, give us example of complete package, if you want, of healing or coaching that you would give.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a great question. So because I have people with many medical conditions that all of them start with inflammation in the body. And so it's an easy, you go, how do we reduce inflammation in the brain and in the gut? And that's done through a myriad of things. So I look at them as this: your physical body needs to be re-engineered to be well. Being outdoors in nature is probably the most healing thing that we can do. If you can get 15 minutes on your pineal gland of sunshine in a day, you can really change your brain biome also, right? So there's things that we can ingest, things that we can eat that can help us to have that better gut and brain biome. But there's also just being out in Mother Nature itself, and having the sun on that pineal gland helps. So first prescriptions, if you're living in I live in Canada, which has many, many months of not nice weather. So I'll say to people, go to a tanning bed, go get some vitamin D from a tanning bed. And people go, oh my God, you recommend tanning beds? Are you crazy? Like, no, there's actually bulbs. There's bulbs that you can actually make sure are good for getting a tan. It's like not overdoing it, but asking your practitioner at those salons, at the tanning salon, if they have those particular bulbs in their tanning beds. So that's a hot tip for winter. For those of you who live in wintry conditions, really that. And so that would be the number one thing, being out in Mother Nature so that you're breathing in nice, clean oxygen, getting out of the kill grid, getting out of the city so that you can be, either in the mountains or by a body of water, and grounding, taking your shoes off, like just sticking your feet in the soil for 5 or 10 minutes and feeling grounded, feeling rooted. That actually, again, activates that electromagnetic part of ourselves. And we're always connected. We're always connected to this beautiful biosphere that we're in, but you can be more connected and more grounded and rooted by just taking off your shoes and putting bare feet either on the soil. If you live in a cold environment, don't do that, because don't go stand in a snowbank. Or maybe do. If you love that, go ahead. It's not for me.
It is lovely, actually. I love that.
But right now, yes, that is not for me. Yeah, I know. A lot of people love it. A lot of people will do snow angels naked and then jump into, a hot bath, or, we have hot springs here. So if you can get 2 hot springs, that's really nice. The naturally occurring hot springs. So yes, as much as you can, being out in Mother Nature. And then as far as what you're ingesting, on the website, you'll find this. I joke about it on podcasts often, is that I look like a witch, but I'm not one. So if I was actually making in my own kitchen a concoction for people that was healing, we'd be putting in all kinds of herbs and, from outside. So we have wild sage here, we have dandelion, we have willow bark, which is actually what aspirin is made of. So there's all these, things that naturally are growing around us. Just check, see what's growing around you, see what you have, get an education from the people in your area about what herbal remedies might be available to you. You can grow your own lavender. There's so many things, roses are coming out right now. So if you love roses, you can actually make rose essence on your own. You can learn how to make these things. And then, and Krasi and I have talked about this, when people come, it's like, how do you protect, but also how do you invite good things? So how do you protect yourself from bad energy, but also invite good energy? And Krasi makes these wonderful amulets. I'm wearing mine right now because that's an astrological remedy to something that's in my birth chart. So I will often tell people when they come to see me, have you actually been to your astrologer? Like, have you been to Krasi? Do you actually know what your birth chart looks like? Because then they can actually go, oh, I didn't know that I had this problem, like something that I might need to overcome. So it gives you a more complete picture, of remedies. And then the herbal remedy, we have on our website is and gut biome, so people can take a supplement now. So you don't need to be a witch in the kitchen, a kitchen witch. Yeah, there's this really great product that we actually have on our website, and in 7 years. Well, I've been with this knowledge of this disease for 13 years, and I have not promoted anybody because I think a lot of supplements are, they're just not worth promoting. But I recently had somebody reach out to me with really good scientific evidence of actually how effective their products were. And I've been taking 2 of their products, so Quadrimune and Nanostilbene, and I have those available on my website. So for anybody who's wanting to heal they want to be COVID immune, they want to be, want to have concussion, dementia, cancer, an increase in natural killer cells, like all of those things, you can actually get that through this supplement. So I encourage people to actually look at the research that's available on the website and to go, is that pill for me or not for me? And then you can decide. But it's a nutraceutical, it's organic, it is quality control made. So it's like me going out in my backyard and making a beautiful concoction for 1 million of my best friends. It's hard to do it, but these guys have it down to a science, right? So I know that it's going to be a very, very good product for helping people to be well right away. And then the third thing I encourage people to do is to look at biofeedback. So we have, again, available on the website, quantum biofeedback. So you can actually get your own readings every day about how are you energetically? How's your physical health? How's your bioenergetic health? And it's very interesting how we're all these old past life entanglements show up on this quantum biofeedback. So it's lots of fun. You can go, oh, look, it's like somewhere in the past I had died from a sword wound, or I died from poverty, or, my past lives, I've had, emotional energy of loathing that I need to release and let go of. So, so it's very
Yeah.
powerful tools. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. This reminds me, of course, of, yeah, indeed, this is very important, because also astrologically you see karmically where you might have your blockages, and through your techniques, you can indeed help yourself tremendously. Yes, yes. This also
The
reminds
seventh house.
yes. Leah, we had a bit of sound interruption. Also, what you said is very interesting. When you said, look around what you have, what kinds of herbs you have around your house, your area, because a Bulgarian healer, amazing Bulgarian healer, he died 2 years ago, unfortunately. You know what he was speaking? He was a herbalist, and he was saying, when you buy a house and you have a garden, the nature is created in such way that the herbs which you need start to grow in your garden. The herbs which you need, can you imagine how perfect the nature is, and the spirits which surround us? So the whole environment may change in your garden only because you bought this place. Then the universe starts serving you immediately. Then you get really the plants that you need as remedy. Amazing, right?
Yes. I love it. Absolutely. I heard another thing that was like just a similar and just a little, one step further, is somebody else who was a herbalist who took the seeds of the plants and you put them in your mouth before you plant them for 5 or 10 minutes. And then that actually picks up another level of this bio field in your body of what you need, and will create exactly what you need from that plant. So like an apple seed or apple seeds, for example, if you put those in your mouth and then you plant them for your apple tree, then your apple tree will produce the fruit that you need. And I haven't, I just went, what a neat imprinting, right? It's like, whoa. Yeah.
That's
So cool.
beautiful. It's like what the ancient Egyptians would do. Also, the ancients, they would pick a plant, and if they would take it with the roots, they will immediately replace it. So you are not allowed just to pick a plant like that. You need to thank and ask for permission, and then replace it by another seed, because so that you restore the harmony. So when I'm gathering herbs for my talismans, because they are also a combination of herbs, essential oils, then I do this. I have always in my pockets all kinds of seeds, even beans, whatever I find in the house, and then I just replace, because this is how you restore the balance. You are not harming the nature. So what you're saying is, yes, we have to live in harmony with the nature, and this is what harmony is. When you love it, you understand it.
Yes, I love that. I love that example of putting seeds in your pocket so you're just ready, right? I was ready today. I put my seeds in my pockets and I was ready. I absolutely adore that. I think that's something I'm going to teach my grandchildren, because the oldest one is turning 7 here, right? Just in the next couple of months. And that would be something that he would just think is amazing. He would love to do that. What a great lesson for our children.
Well, yes.
And that's the fun thing about this. Yeah, the whole consciousness, the thing is that it's so not just us. You have a child, right, too, Krasi?
Yes,
Have
and it
they
is very funny because
this? Are they learning this from you?
Oh yes, they are teaching me, Leah. They were teaching me, because when my son was very small, I would see him hugging stones. We were walking, and I see him stopping and hugging stones and hugging trees. And the children of now these children, children of, I don't know, of light. I have no idea. They call them indigo. I don't know. Leave the terminology. It's not important. But they know. They teach us. They teach us. It is amazing. We were driving somewhere in the forest, and then I see my children next to. There was a beautiful sunflower, and I see them in a strange position praying. I said, "What are you doing?" "Well, we are praying and we're asking for permission because we want this flower." we want to take this flower. So they're sitting and doing all the prayers and asking for permission. I was thinking, my God, I didn't teach them this exactly. So the children of today, they know, they come with knowledge. This is part of the awakening.
And so did they take the flower? Did they get permission?
I don't remember whether I remember that they were asking for permission, because I was thinking, what are these two doing? Sitting next to the flower,
Right.
and praying and talking. And then, yeah, yes, the children know.
Isn't that so incredible? It's just so neat. Yes, I have such reverence for my grandchildren, and I had reverence for my children, but my grandchildren are, you know, front and center right now. And so I think this is also the rising consciousness of going, pay attention to what these little ones are doing, because there's so much to
They're
learn.
teaching us. We came with real amnesia. They come with different mindset, and they know more, and they, well, hopefully this is so. I see this with other children too. This is part
when
of
I was through this, yeah, and I think through a series of kind of conversations like these ones, we have more awareness and awakening of that we came here intact. Most of us came here intact and somehow got indoctrinated to be not okay, you know, not that sparkly little shiny being. And then now that we're more conscious about how much that's been stolen from us, we recognize it in these kids. I don't know if we actually came less shiny than them, or if we're just more able to recognize it. I remember being a little girl on our farm and laying in the meadow and just you know, laying back, and I said I was earth. I was earth and the sky and the sun. I was just a big chi ball. I can go there and do go there frequently in that energy. And so I've worked with many people who do plant medicine over the span of my career. And there's a lot of conversations right now about plant medicine, about ayahuasca, about, you know, cannabis and mushrooms, and just all of this stuff. But when I talk to people who are using those techniques, when I share the story of my energy of my childhood, of that meadow, of what turned into, or what I am, they go, oh, well, that's why you don't need plant medicine, because you already can do that. That's what we're trying to achieve by doing the plant medicine, is that feeling of one with nature, and being earth, and being the sky, and being the sun. That's what we're trying to achieve. And then I went, oh, like that was a huge insight for me, because I couldn't understand why people were doing that particular methodology. That I didn't get it. Now I get it. Now I understand. But when we can learn through qigong, so qigong practice is very strong. You can take yourself into that state of the meadow that I'm describing. So that sparkly, bright, where you are the cosmos, you are the stars, the practice is about being nature. You're the trees, you're the wind, you're the ocean, you're the water, you're the rocks, you are Mother Earth, you are the galaxy, you are the cosmos and beyond. And then you're just sparkly as a result of being in this, doing a practice. And that's the goal of it. And then you bring back all that sparkly energy back into yourself, into your Jing Qi, it's called, so your creative center. And then you use that for energy throughout the day. So the difference between Kundalini teach and that you can find on the website is that Kundalini leaves you open. So you're just like, anyone who's had a Kundalini experience, or that's what it is. It feels like there's a direct connection to source, and that you are, just like on an afterburner. So that's what I think of it as, because you're so energized, and it's so energizing. But you're also very scattered and not you're not grounded. So you've only got this energy that's up here, and you're lacking the grounded, rooted energy that helps you to actually function here in this planet. So that clear thinking, open-hearted, and then centered. So for good energy, happy heart, protection, and then grounded, good energy and good chi good vitality happens as a result of knowing how to energize and then knowing how to bring back that ball of energy. And you don't need to get high to do it. But if you want to, if you don't, you can do it that way too. But and you can make yourself feel like this ball of chi in about like less than a minute through breath practices. So you can come check that out on the website. But you feel that sparkly, tingly head, kind of the fireball of energy, and it's very, very fast. So
and this
you
is
can
so
do that
hermetic.
naturally.
Sounds exactly like the hermetic principles of the world, which are in the base of just any real knowledge, not the contemporary science, which is I have no idea why did it come to destroy our connection with nature, but this sounds so hermetic and so harmonious, really beautiful. Because for every disease, the nature has response and healing, and for every disease, the key is in the nature, not in the contemporary science. Definitely not.
What, you blasphemer?
May I be excused?
May I be excused also. So, and this is what's also fun about the qigong stuff. It's playful. So you say, the healing sounds, or when I say a practice or a movement, it's not when you think about martial arts that you have to actually learn routines and that you need to be able to do whatever routines.
Yes.
Qigong is very playful and fun. A good time. If there is lots of people that laugh through it, and there's also you can be serious as well, but it's playful. It's supposed to be about moving like a child, really. When you see kids and they've got something wrong, they'll just shake it off, right? You see little kids and they're like mad about something or things go wrong, they'll go, ugh, and then they just shake, and they physically will shake their body. And then they get that energy out of them, just like that. Adults, we go and we tighten up all of our lungs, we stop breathing, we stop thinking, and we stop that energy flow. And so as soon as you actually relax and open up your lungs and you shake a little bit, you can shake the energy of whatever is coming at you off very quickly. So we learn these practices actually as a result of watching nature and children, and they come so easily, everybody can do them too. So I think that's where people go, oh, it's too hard, things are too difficult, I don't want to learn how to do it. It's not Tai Chi. It's not something where you actually have to stand in a park with a bunch of people and move slowly and deliberately, although that's beautiful too. Qigong is very open, easy, accessible. You can do it no matter what your health state is. And so even if you're very unwell, sometimes that's even the best, because you can come in and start doing healing sounds, which are very deep. So people with cancers, people with fatty liver disease, people with dementias, heart disease, you can do healing sounds and start working on correcting your misharmonious body really fast. And then when you pair on, when you said what the remedy I give people, I say get on those supplements right away, because it will help with your gut brain biome, and you'll be able to see it happening within 2 or 3 weeks. This sort of changes and feel better right away. So even for complex health issues, we can help people over at the masteryourlife.ca website. And you can find Lee Holden's classes are all on my website. So we've partnered with people who are the best in the world at what they do. I'm a pretty good qigong teacher, but Lee is a master teacher for a reason, because he's been doing this for 30 years. So we really brought people the very best practices, and so when you come onto the site, you can come from your sentient self, from yourself, and go, what makes sense for me to do? And ask yourself, does this qigong practice for back, or for pregnancy, or for brain health, or for seasons make the most sense? Does quantum biofeedback make the most sense? And you can try that out for free for 14 days also. So you can come and test pilot that. So if you're somebody who loves technology, you can get on and try that out. It's lots of fun. A lot of people love technology. You can see your aura reading. You can see your aura scan. which is fun. You know, you go, oh, like, am I a pinky chi bubble, or am I like gray and covered with entities? and you can see that, and you can
Oh,
clean it up. So that's right. Very, very powerful. Yeah, it's
amazing.
fun. So if you like it, yes, it is. And we have all this, of control. We have all this power within us to be well, and to be connected, and to feel grounded and centered, and also to feel enlightened at the same time. You know, so that walking that spiritual path, but also with 2 feet planted here on the earth, with a happy, joyful, open heart. Sounds easy when you say it fast, right? It's like, oh, that's easy. But, you know, there's lots
No,
of things
it's a
knocking
matter
us
of
off of
choice.
our,
It's a matter of choice because you do not need anyone to make you happy. You can just be happy once you decide, I believe.
yes, yes. I had
Beautiful.
somebody say that to me
Very.
one time. How can you be happy given all the stuff that you've got going on? I said, well, what's the alternative? Like, what's the alternative? Look at how people wake up every day. They're angry, ugly, mad at the world, loathing. And I would just say, man, I'm glad I didn't wake up in that skin.
Absolutely. Matter of choice. It is matter of choice. And indeed, knowing your horoscope, knowing your situation can help you, because then you make decision which road to take. So this was very beautiful, Leah, very beautiful. I will place absolutely the links to your qigong practices. And this is beautiful because this is reminding us of the true and real ancient knowledge. And because again, I will repeat, sorry, I have to repeat it. This is the true knowledge. This is the true science. What the science from the ancients, which got suppressed, deleted, literature was burned, destroyed, hidden. So it is really a good chance to have this through you, and to have really true ancient knowledge. That is why the ancient astrology is much more valuable, because through the ancient astrology you can see much more than through the modern. But again, the logic is the same: contemporary destruction of knowledge. So, but this is again the Great Awakening, to find the true sources of information, which I believe is maybe happening through our conversation. I hope we're useful for people. They can find the ways of healing, awakening, being happier, smiling.
Yes, that is it. If you can find your way to your heavenly body. The heavenly bodies are here, and they're here.
And understanding how powerful the human soul is, uniquely powerful. This is so maybe the most important conclusion, if you want, from our conversation, to find out how powerful we are, and how with knowledge and through the new information we can heal ourselves. No one will heal us, we will do, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a beautiful journey of discovery. So much fun, right?
Thank you so much, Leah. And you promised me next week, again, just after 7 days, that we will have another talk. And I want a much more detailed talk with examples that can be really helpful for the people, examples and maybe recipes. And I will be asking you about very specific recipes and prescriptions. So prepare. Thank you, Leah, very much.
All right. I will prepare, and we'll talk about hermetics also. We'll talk more about hermetics as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you, Krasi.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.